Welcome back, guys, to another exciting take of YBR Capital's take on Stripe this time. So, Stripe is one of our portfolio companies, and I, Brian, got to select them when they were pretty young, and that was one of our best investments we've made. So, Stripe is basically disrupting the payment industry. It's taking on the likes of Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and AWS. So this is where Stripe is operating right now: US, Australia, Japan, and some beta cases in South America. They have a very interesting relationship with South America because when the guys were like basically just two brothers working on a project, they went down during their break in January and worked in the cafes of Buenos Aires, and that's why they have like an affinity for being in South America. That was the first beta cases. So that's a little beta out there for you guys who are into this. So this video is more for entrepreneurs than the Wall Street guys out there, because being an ex-Wall Street guy and then coming to the Valley, I try to make this more towards the East Coast folks and entrepreneurs who want to be and come in front of IBR Capital and pitch their ideas. So Stripe is an example I wanted to show that this is how VCs view companies. Here is what's your use case, what's your addressable market, and what products are you. It's not so much about the financials because we are betting on, you know, the user adoption and the growth, and money will come later on. So what you guys need to learn to take from this video is understand what Stripe does. And I put in 3 use cases that you will see, and they're pretty very interesting cases that will give you an insight of why Stripe has become a $9 billion company, and we think it's going to go all the way to $20 billion. We don't think it's going to go for an IPO. We think this is more of a acquisition because one of the strategic competitors or strategic investors are Visa Ventures and Amex Ventures. So that's why we are very happy that this is going to go to $20 billion, and it's going to be an acquisition. So here's the study case.
Lyft is the fastest growing on-demand transportation service in the US. One of the early challenges we faced is how do you manage a complex marketplace payment business end to end with one platform? We needed to be able to process all the different forms of payment that our passengers wanted to use, and then also be able to seamlessly pay out money to our drivers. And that's where Stripe really helped push the envelope and build a solution that met our needs.
The reason why I decided to drive with Lyft is 3 years ago, I needed an additional source of income to pay for my wedding. So it paid for my wedding, and I still continue to drive with Lyft to pay for bills and other necessities.
There wouldn't be a Lyft without drivers. We heard for a long time that they needed to get paid on a more frequent basis than the traditional weekly direct deposits.
They wanted to be able to decide when their payday was going to be. So based on that, we decided to build a solution together with Stripe, which was the Express Pay feature, which is enabled by the Stripe Instant Payout platform.
Sometimes things pop up where you do need money instantly. Before ExpressPay, I had to rely on getting paid weekly. When ExpressPay launched, it gave me the opportunity to cash out the same day, which definitely helped out paying bills, or even just taking my wife on a great night out on the town.
Driver reception to instant payouts has been huge. Since we started within the first 6 months of 2016, over 40% of all deposits were through instant pay, and currently it's all the way up to 50%.
For Lyft, we want to design, great experiences for our drivers and passengers. And I think Stripe gives us the ability to focus on developing innovative features such as, the Express Pay feature. Lyft has grown 3x year over year. We did 162 million rides in 2016. From a payment perspective, we haven't had to grow our team 3x because we know that we can rely on Stripe and the Connect platform to take care of the heavy lifting and the payment tools, so we didn't have to build them in-house. That allows Lyft to be focusing on our core mission of improving people's lives through building the world's best transportation service.
One of Squarespace's missions is to allow anybody to own a piece of the internet. We believe that design can give you that competitive edge, can push your business forward. You don't need to know how to code, but you can still have a beautiful web presence no matter what.
Commerce was actually the #1 most requested feature for over a decade at Squarespace. We were looking for a way to really integrate online shopping into the website experience. The Stripe API enabled us to integrate commerce in a way that helped us display the customer's brand in the best possible way. We no longer had to send people out to a third-party site to handle the checkout and payments. They could keep the checkout experience consistent with their brands, their logos, which was really important to the experience that we were trying to create.
Western Editions is a letterpress print shop, and we specialize in custom designs, art prints, and greeting cards. Since we're an analog print shop, we sort of deal with outdated technology, and we're really good at that.
Part of why we chose Squarespace was we knew there was an e-commerce edition you could add.
It was a great platform to start our online shop.
Payments is a hard problem, and not one we were super interested in solving on our own. Stripe is like a really amazing, simple solution that let us get going really quickly. There are lots of security requirements around doing payments safely and protecting people's private information. Since Stripe solves so much for us, we don't have a single person dedicated to payments, and we're able to pursue all kinds of other projects to improve the Squarespace commerce product.
Once we launched commerce, what was really exciting about it was that it actually increased our market massively, because we had suddenly so many more customers who were coming to Squarespace in order to launch full-scale e-commerce stores.
Setting up the e-commerce part of our website was super easy. So all we had to do was input our banking info, and then it just shows up.
It really has allowed our business to sort of grow more than we could have expected. We prefer to spend more of our time on our press than dealing with accounts online. Squarespace and using Stripe payment has definitely made it easy for us, and we can focus on the fun part of the business.
One thing that Squarespace loves in our partnership with Stripe is that we don't have to worry about payment infrastructure. We can just focus on making the best web product for all of our users.
Teespring's mission is to change the world of e-commerce by essentially allowing you to take globally scaled manufacturing and shipping and customer service and bring that directly to people who have ideas, who want to turn them into reality. Having a partnership with Stripe allows us to focus on the things that we care most about as a business. Integrating Stripe was very, very easy. It has been at every company I've done it at, which is a few at this point. Before Stripe's fraud system, we'd actually built an internal decision engine that would try to determine if certain events on the Teespring platform were fraudulent or not. That did take a good amount of engineering time, and we believe the next level of that would involve quite a bit of machine learning, and we would prefer to apply data scientists to other problems, and Stripe's fraud system has kept us from having to do that.
Our fraud team is actually quite small, so Stripe is actually very beneficial in helping us maximize our resources. Before Stripe, we had people manually reviewing each order. With Stripe, you can actually see the number of orders that is blocking, the number of orders that is escalating. They have tools that allow us to implement rules and block charges before they even go through, so this actually saves a lot of time. Stripe has the ability to view historical data, so if you set a new rule, you can see how many transactions it would have blocked previously. We've definitely gotten new insights into different fraud trends on Teespring with Stripe's new fraud system.
Stripe is always providing new functionality to us, like Apple Pay and international payment methods. We're able to iteratively add these features as they come out with minimal work on our side. Stripe allows us to focus on what really matters to Teespring, which is the buyer and creator experience.